In today's culture, the fast food industry is a staple that makes millions and millions of dollars. Everyone is familiar with McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Burger King, but over the years there have been many other successful chains. Unfortunately, some of these have disappeared and are no longer with us. However, today we're celebrating the ones that didn't just disappear, the drive-thru pioneers that created an entire culture around eating in your car. In today's video, we'll take a look at 10 drive-thru legends that defined a generation's lifestyle with unforgettable mascots, jingles, and menu items that sparkled pure joy. Number 10. A&W Drive-In. Nothing says Friday night quite like pulling into A&W and hearing those car trays clank against your window. Roy W. Allen started A&W in 1919, selling root beer to returning World War I veterans who craved something cold and refreshing. What began as a simple refreshment stand soon became something much bigger. By the 1950s, A&W had transformed into the ultimate teenage hangout, with carhops skating between cars like graceful dancers. The magic happened when Rudy, the Great Root Bear, debuted in 1974. This lovable mascot appeared on toys, TV ads, and those iconic orange and brown signs that became beacons for hungry families cruising the night. Furthermore, the real attraction was that draft root beer served in frozen mugs, so cold they'd frost over in your hands the moment they touched the car window. A&W's Frosty Mug Taste commercials promised the perfect root beer float, and they delivered every single time. Papa Burgers, Coney Dogs, and those legendary root beer floats made Friday nights feel special. For millions of kids across America, A&W wasn't just a diner. It was where you went when life felt good and the night stretched out ahead of you. But while A&W perfected the car hop experience, something revolutionary was happening on Route 66. Number 9. Red's Giant Hamburg. Red's Giant Hamburg was where the drive-thru window was actually born, thanks to Sheldon "Red" Cheney cutting a hole in his building on Route 66 in 1947. This simple innovation would change fast food forever. That famous Giant Hamburg sign became a Route 66 landmark, and here's the twist. The word hamburger wouldn't fit under the power lines, so Hamburg it was. Road-tripping families knew that a neon sign meant hand-formed burgers, French fries, and ice-cold root beer served through America's first drive-thru window. Additionally, Red's became the pit stop that made long drives bearable during the golden age of American road trips. The smell of grilled onions and fresh beef would hit you before you rolled down your window. The original location closed in 1984, but the legacy lived on. In fact, it reopened in 2019 because some memories are simply too good to stay buried. Speaking of garage innovations that changed everything, just 1 year later, in California, Harry Snyder was building the future. Number 8. In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out's two-way speaker box was born in Harry Snyder's garage in 1948, and it changed drive-thrus forever. Harry and Esther Snyder launched their first location in Baldwin Park, California, with that revolutionary communication system crackling to life. That iconic neon arrow logo and "No Delay" slogan became symbols of California car culture. What's more, the secret animal-style menu spread by whispers and knowing looks. Nothing made you feel cooler than ordering off the secret menu that only the insiders knew about. Double burgers, fresh-cut fries, and real ice cream shakes kept the menu simple yet perfect. In-N-Out wasn't just food. It represented beach trips, first dates, and late-night adventures all wrapped in red and white paper. For generations of Californians, those neon arrows guided them to moments that would become lifelong memories. While In-N-Out conquered California, up north, George Lucas was about to make one restaurant immortal. Number 7. Mel's Drive-In. Mel's Drive-In became legendary when George Lucas featured it in American Graffiti in 1973, preserving 1950s car culture forever. Mel Weiss and Harold Dobbs had created something special in San Francisco. Those neon lights blazing against the night sky, chrome fixtures gleaming under streetlights, and car hop service that made every meal feel cinematic. The movie showed teenagers in Letterman jackets and poodle skirts living their best lives under Mel's neon glow. Classic burgers, thick milkshakes, and chili fries were served with pure 1950s style. As a result, every time someone watches American Graffiti, they're seeing the real Mel's where looking cool while eating was half the experience. This wasn't just product placement, it was cultural preservation. Mel's represented the perfect collision of teenage culture and car culture during America's most optimistic era. But while Mel's was creating movie magic, down in San Diego, a talking clown was about to blow kids' minds. Number 6. Jack in the Box. That giant cloud head on the roof wasn't just decoration, it actually talked to you through the intercom. And 1970s kids were absolutely fascinated. Robert O. Patterson's Jack in the Box made ordering food feel like pure magic. The big jackhead, with his pointy hat and spinning bow tie, was equal parts wonderful and slightly terrifying. Talk to the Clown became every kid's favorite car ride request. Speaking into that clown's mouth while he grinned down at you was a childhood wonder that stayed with you forever. Additionally, Jack in the Box perfected the intercom ordering system that made fast food truly fast. Jumbo Jacks, tacos that somehow worked at a burger place, and later those addictive curly fries made Jack in the Box the perfect late-night destination. The chain understood that fast food could be entertainment, not just sustenance. If you're enjoying this trip down memory lane, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our nostalgic deep dives into the brands and memories that shaped our childhoods. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. While Jack entertained kids, the Golden Arches were about to take over the world. Number 5. McDonald's Drive-Thru. McDonald's Drive-Thru launched in 1975 in Sierra Vista, Arizona, and turned, "Can we go to McDonald's?" into the most powerful phrase in childhood. The restaurant had been around since 1940, but the drive-thru revolution changed everything. Ronald McDonald, Grimace, and the hamburger created an empire of joy that made every visit feel like a celebration waiting to happen. Happy Meal toys turned dinner into treasure hunts. You never knew which toy you'd get, and trading them became playground currency that rivaled actual money. Those paper-wrapped cheeseburgers, Big Macs, and McNuggets with that sweet orange drink that were pure childhood bliss served through your car window. Furthermore, birthday parties at McDonald's with cake in the play place became the gold standard of kid celebrations. McDonald's didn't just feed families, they created traditions that lasted generations and shaped how entire communities gathered around food and fun. While McDonald's conquered the world, one chain was determined to keep the 1950s alive forever. Number 4. Sonic Drive-In. Sonic brought the 1950s into the modern era with roller skating car hops who could skate backwards while balancing full trays. Troy Smith Sr. opened the first location in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and service at the speed of sound wasn't just a slogan, it was time travel on wheels. Cherry lemonade so tart they made you pucker, tater tots that somehow beat regular fries, and foot-long chili dogs served by car hops on wheels. What's more, Friday nights after football games, Sonic parking lots became teenage social headquarters where young romance bloomed under neon lights. Cars parked side by side, windows down, radios playing, falling in love over shared slushies. Sonic understood that eating out should be an event, not just a meal. The chain preserved the magic of drive-in culture when everyone else was rushing towards efficiency. Meanwhile, up in Ohio, a red-headed entrepreneur was about to prove fresh beats frozen. Number 3, Wendy's Drive-Thru. Wendy's square patties hanging over the bun proved they didn't cut corners. But Carla Peller's Where's the Beef commercial in 1984 made them legendary. Dave Thomas opened Wendy's in 1969 and added drive-thru service by 1970, promising old-fashioned hamburgers with fresh, never-frozen beef that actually tasted like beef. That feisty grandmother became an instant icon when she demanded answers about burger size. Where's the beef entered everyday vocabulary. People said it about everything from politics to relationships. One cranky grandma gave Wendy's the most memorable slogan in fast food history. In addition, frosty desserts that were too thick for straws but too thin for spoons became the perfect after-practice treat. Getting a Frosty made ordinary days feel special and turned the drive-thru visit into a small celebration of childhood. But while Wendy's perfected fresh beef, another chain was making Mexican food mainstream. Number 2, Taco Bell drive-thru. Taco Bell made Mexican food accessible to Americans who thought mild sauce was spicy. Glenn Bell opened the first location in 1962. But the drive-thru explosion came during the suburban sprawl of the 1970s and 1980s. The chain became the unofficial fourth meal destination for late-night munchies and college adventures that lasted until sunrise. The Yo Quiero Taco Bell Chihuahua from 1997 to 2000 became a pop culture phenomenon that transcended fast food marketing. That tiny dog spawned merchandise, catchphrases, and terrible party impersonations. Everyone wanted to eat where the cool dog ate. Consequently, crunchy tacos, Nacho Bel Grande, and Mexican pizza fueled midnight runs and post-party cravings. Taco Bell turned late-night food into a lifestyle and proved that drive-thru dining could happen at any hour when hunger struck. And speaking of the 1990s, one final chain perfected pure speed. Number 1, Checkers Rallies. Checkers and Rallies went all in on car culture with double drive-thru lanes and 0 dining rooms. The chains launched separately in Alabama and Kentucky in 1986, eventually merging but keeping both names. You Gotta Eat commercials and checkerboard branding made them the perfect 1990s pit stop for teenagers who lived their lives at full speed. Those legendary seasoned fries became a fast food legend, perfectly spiced and impossibly addictive. Big Budford burgers and thick milkshakes fueled endless nights of mall cruising and arcade hopping. For 1990s teenagers living their social lives in cars, Checkers was the perfect fuel stop between adventures that stretched deep into the night. The double drive-thru concept was pure genius for a generation that refused to slow down. Speed wasn't just convenience, it was a way of life served with a side of perfectly seasoned fries. These drive-thru chains didn't just serve food, they created the soundtrack to growing up in America. From A&W's Frosty Mugs to McDonald's Happy Meals, from Jack's Talking Clown to Sonic's roller skating car hops, each restaurant shaped how families ate, how teenagers socialized, and how an entire culture fell in love with the freedom of eating in their cars. While today's drive-thrus have digital menu boards and mobile apps, the magic these pioneers created lives on every time someone rolls down their window and places an order. They proved that fast food could be about more than just speed. It could be about joy, community, and the simple pleasure of a good meal shared in the front seat with the radio playing your favorite song. Here's what's worth considering. If you could bring back one of these drive-thru experiences exactly as it was in its heyday, which would it be? The roller skating car hops at Sonic? Talking to Jack's Clown Head? Or maybe sipping that perfect A&W root beer float on a Friday night? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and tell us which drive-thru memory takes you back to the best times. If this brought back some delicious memories, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss our nostalgic trips through the brands and moments that defined our childhoods. See you in the next video.